rumors are true. I am free. Welcome to my locals page. So much to talk about. Obviously, I'm going to take a couple of weeks here just to rebuild and to refocus and to create something that is actually mine and something that can't be threatened or taken.
Well, I don't know about going to locals, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now. But I mean, hey, you know what? Whatever. Look, if you think that locals is the place for you, go ahead and try it. But I don't know, man. I don't even, whatever. That's not the discussion right now. So Candace has responded saying that she's finally free. She's going to get things set up over at locals. She's going to do her own thing. And look, maybe I'll even try locals myself. I mean, I don't know. But we'll go into the owner of locals and why I kind of feel like I'm not really sure, you know what I mean, if this is the thing. But let's go ahead and get into it.
And because it belongs to me, I can't tell you enough how much your support has meant to me over the years. We're just getting started. Join the locals page. Obviously, here you can support me and my work as an independent journalist, as an independent podcaster. We're still going to be doing 5 days a week. There'll be tons of announcements coming in the next couple of weeks. And I guess the last thing I want to say is thank you. And for those of you that don't want to be on locals and just want to support in any capacity, you can head to gocandace.com. Thank you.
So yeah, that's what's up though. You know what? Candace is actually motivating me. So, but that's what's up. She's gonna do her own thing and look good. Shout out to Candace Owens. Now, we do need to talk about a couple things that were brought to my attention that I did forget about, you know. So and now I remember it deeply, you know, I do, but we'll get to that. So this is Candace responding. She said that she's gonna get into it, you know, later or whatever. Why don't we get into who owns locals? Because I'm sorry, okay, whatever. So I think it just Dave Rubin that's his company, Locals, and he actually has some stock in Rumble. But I don't know if he makes decisions. You know, he definitely said, like, okay, he's you know, she's going on his show, and he's so hyped because he's like, oh, I reported this as far as like I saw this coming. I was the first one to, you know, predict this or whatever. He did predict it on the what is that? The PBD podcast. But it's like you probably already knew then. Like you just predicted it yesterday, and then you're saying like, oh, see, I predicted it, and then now she's on Locals. So y'all already talked about this. You already knew, and it's okay. Like whatever. But okay, sorry. So he said live right now. This was earlier. Candace Owens has left the Daily Wire as I predicted on Patrick Bet-David's podcast yesterday. She's going solo via Locals, the platform I created to empower creators to be independent. I have plenty of thoughts to share. Watch now on all platforms. Okay. So I went ahead and I just kind of, you know, I did this is how polite, you know, they already have it. So yeah, I was like, I'm not sure this is a good idea for her. I think she should have just went completely independent or figured out something else, because eventually your feelings will get triggered too. This was me. I don't know. But anyway, he put, how is Locals, somebody put, not him, he has replied to me, how is Locals not going completely independent? Are you saying she should have created her own video site, social media site? They said, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is. It's just that I know how this goes, man. Like, I know how this goes. You know, shit, look, if he really can, somebody made two of those points all about you. Oh, been exposed, trader. If he really can keep his emotions out of it, that's fine. But I've seen how he actually I made an episode about the fact how he came at her for her criticisms of Israel. So for me, again, I just kind of feel like it's a bit, I don't know, man. It's still a touchy territory, seriously. And well, this is him talking about it.
What do you think about the dynamics of her and Ben at Daily Wire?
Well, I hope you heard the overriding part, which is that I don't want to make it personal with her. I don't really consider us friends anymore. I think there's many layers to this. There's a pure business layer to it, which is that Candace has a contract with Daily Wire, but it seems fairly obvious to me she wants to leave the Daily Wire. And I think Candace, to her own, whether she wants to join Tucker or do something else after, start the Candace Owens network, whatever it might be. I think there are realities outside of just like the political fights. And that's why in this case.
All right, so we could just stop right there. And really, Dave Rubin isn't saying anything that I didn't say. Like I kept saying, I think she's going on a tour on an introductory tour, get to know Candace. We go to Joe Budden's, The Breakfast Club, everything. We saw this coming. Now, what I will say is that she's a very organized person. So she knows what she's doing as far as that goes. Like, as far as she knows what she has to do to network. I mean, she's not dumb. I saw somebody tweet, oh, wow, big grifting. She could have just let the Daily Wire. Instead, she let them fire her. Yeah, duh. Are you dumb? You use the platform while you can to say everything you need to say, and then you make the obvious example out of them. They walked right into that. That's on them. It is what it is. Because to be honest, it's a business. You were never supposed to get that worked up where you got rid of her. You were never even supposed to let her leave. You should have told, like, even if she came back and was like, you know what? I want to go. You should have told her, like, we don't want you to leave. And furthermore, you should have posted Candace Owens left, even though we begged her not to leave, because the optics look very, very bad. They didn't do that. So you know that they actually did get rid of her, and that freedom of speech does not mean anything to the Daily Wire. I mean, like, let's call it what it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here. So anyway, he said, just to be 100%, but this is, I don't care what nobody says, this is a response to me. He says, just to be 100% crystal clear, I created On Locals to empower creators to be independent. Candace is as welcome on the platform as anybody else, anyone else. Okay, let me see. Right? And he puts the, the America. I've seen how he's gotten, but look, I hope he can keep it together, because on a platform who claims to be fully independent and they're all about freedom of speech, when she decides to talk about World War II and the beginnings of World War II, and some facts that many people don't know about World War II, and a lot of things that happened around that time, is Dave Rubin going to be so understanding or, freedom of speech? Or does he even know the history? So I'm just saying, I know the kind of, you go digging, you're going to find a lot. You're going to find a lot. And so when she presents that, is he going to be okay with that? That's all I want to know. Now, I'm going to bring up this topic just real quick. And it is important because, wait a minute. Okay. So now you see stuff like this. Now,
we got into it about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as you know, this is the idea that we should judge people by the color of their skin. And if you were looking at people's resumes, you might go, oh, well, this guy's black. Let's put him above this guy who's white, and definitely let's put him over this guy who's Asian, and really definitely let's put him over this guy who's Jewish. Some might.
So it's even things like that. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot going on in America right now that I think that a lot of people aren't ready to have certain conversations yet. Certain platforms definitely can't have those conversations. So I'm even going to leave that right there. But that's I mean, has he looked into who's writing the DEI policies, right? And so that alone. So now if somebody goes and they dismantle this whole thing on his platform. Okay, so the Crowder thing, okay? We did, I don't know how I forgot it. I made a whole video about it. She went off on Steven Crowder about Big Con and all that. And look what they did to her. So that's true. That is true. Now, Big Con, Crowder didn't really expose the full of what actually Big Con is, but it's true. A lot of people do owe Candace Crowder a apology, and I'm going to, well, hold up. No, I didn't say any. I came at her for that. I did. But that did happen. That did happen because then, you know what's so sick? I do remember too. I definitely remember when Crowder's wife, they were having issues and Candace was trying to interview his wife, and that's what gave me that nasty taste in my mouth about her, when I was like, oh, she's taking it way too far. And so she was really going to bat. That's the thing. But the day, right, that's why they played themselves. You should have just let this girl just kind of do her thing. She was willing to do the dirty work, clearly, right? Y'all let that go. Was this really a good business decision? I don't know. We know it wasn't. But here we are. So she has responded. We got a couple people saying a couple things. We're going to still keep watching this. I'm waiting for Ben Shapiro's response. That's not going to come until Sunday night. But I'm waiting to see how Matt Walsh, what's his name? Michael Knowles. Have they not said anything? What's going on? So I'm waiting to see these responses, and we'll stay updated on this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.